The jump between years 10 and 11 is the biggest jump in high school. I kid you not. It's not year 11 to 12, it is year 10 to 11. So if you want to smash year 11 coming up and you don't want to burn out, this is what you need to do. For quick context, my name's Jed, if you don't already know me. I scored a 99.70 ATAR. I did that whilst being school captain, whilst playing first team rugby. I duxed my school. I got 100 out of 100 in advanced math as a 16-year-old in HSC Advanced Math at 16 as an accelerated student. I was also ducked of year 11 and I got first in basically all my subjects. So I destroyed year 11 and then went on to even destroy year 12 even more. So it's fair to say I pretty much know what I'm talking about in terms of the jump between year 10 to 11 because I did not get ducks in year 10, 9, 8. I literally just went from being mid and then I was always kind of smart and then I started trying properly. And then I went to duxing in the last 2 years. Year 11 is literally when workload increases the most. It's when expectations change from, okay, yep, you're just a 16-year-old kid that, just playing Xbox with the boys to, oh my God, now I'm actually in year 11 and this is going to sort of count towards my ATAR. Also, teachers start assuming that you're a bit older, 17 years old, 16, 17. The expectations change massively. High school really, it should be split in between year 7 to 10 is like junior, or I guess in America they call it middle school or whatever. And then high school is just year 11 and 12. Like year 11 and 12 is high school. Year 7 to 10 is like middle school, right? Like it's completely different. Like it is, you go to the same school, but it is completely different. And most students get shocked and then they do their first year 11 test. And what happens in year 11, especially for the hard subjects like chemistry, extension, math, the first assessment task, the average will be 50 or 60%. And I'm saying this and you're going to be like, no, what the hell? Because all the averages in year 10 are like 80%, 90%. I guarantee you if you're doing a hard subject, legal studies or chemistry, physics, biology, anything like math extension, the averages are going to be very low because it's such a big jump. And also, I will tell you, it doesn't necessarily matter that the averages are so low because it's about your rank. We'll get into that a bit later. However, it is a massive jump. This is factual. I'm not trying to make this scary. It is factual. So I'm going to teach you in this video exactly how to be calm through this, how to not burn out, and what to do between now and the first day of year 11 so you know exactly what to do. Now, the biggest misconception, and I think that, 100% the biggest misconception is that we're going to get ahead. Oh my God, we're going to get ahead. Now, I blame a lot of tutoring companies on this and some teachers because they're like, oh, let's get ahead. Oh, pay us and we'll get you ahead. We'll teach you the content beforehand. Most students just think that preparation is learning content early. It's actually useless, right? Because if you have no context on the content, if you have no assessment pressure, if the content gets forgotten, it's just useless, right? So getting ahead with weak systems now does not help. You could learn all of the term 1 syllabus in year 11. I'm assuming you're like, oh my God, year 11 starting up. I've got to start trying. Let's start content. No, bro, that's not what you need to do. What you need to do is realize that you need to learn how to study properly because getting ahead with a weak study system is actually just going to backfire because you're not going to know how to study come exam time. You're going to be cramming and you're going to be cooked. I need you to slow down and understand this. What causes burnout in school, but especially year 11 because of the big gap between 10 and 11 is not the workload itself. It actually comes from a couple of things. Inefficient study, rereading notes and thinking that's effective, guessing what matters, feeling behind constantly, because if you're behind, I like to think the burnout isn't necessarily due to anything else than there being a gap between where you need to be for the assessment task and where you are. So if you know 50% of the content, but you need about 100% of it for the exam, and you've got 2 weeks to study, you're cooked, you burn out, bang. It's always stress. It's like an overload of stress and you just burn out. Students burn out because effort doesn't equal results, right? The key line is that the burnout isn't from working hard. It's from working with a system that doesn't work and leaves a massive gap between where you need to be and where you are. Trust me, this is what I did. I just never played catch up and I never burnt out. So the only thing, I guarantee you, the only thing you need to do before 11 starts is just learn how to study properly. It's as simple as that. Repeat that in your head, write it down, go back 5 seconds and listen to me say it again. You do not need to get ahead. I know, especially if you're doing the Asian 6 subjects or Asian 5 or whatever they call it. If you're doing heaps of sciences, you're doing math, you're doing extension English, and you're like, I'm going to get ahead because all the other students are doing it. No, literally, I could sit here and teach you the whole content. You're going to forget it in a month if you don't know how to study anyway. Content doesn't matter. It means literal jack shit. Part of my language, but it doesn't mean shit, right? Knowing how to learn matters more than what you learn. I guarantee you, right? So maybe revise some foundations if you don't remember some math, but realistically, the first couple of weeks of school, you do this anyway. Just like how people say, when starting uni, they're worried about, oh my God, I'm starting uni, so I'm going to redo all of my HSC stuff. No, bro, in my first year of uni, in my first 3 weeks of uni, 4 weeks, in chemistry, we did year 10 chemistry. Same as year 11. You will redo year 9 chemistry for the first week of year 11. So just don't stress. Instead of stressing about getting ahead if you just hit day one knowing how to revise, you test yourself, you track weaknesses, you're actually ahead of most students. Being ahead in my eyes and in my brain, and trust me, I think I know because I've taught thousands of students on social media and hundreds of students in my private community, getting ahead is not actually about what you know, it's about how you know, how you learn, and how ready you are for the exam. This is one big thing. Writing notes and getting notes for the topics that you're about to learn for year 11 doesn't mean anything. Tests don't teach recognition. It's like when you forget someone's name and you don't remember it. Well, passive recall, I can remember that person's face, but if I was tested on it, I don't know what their name is. Horrible analogy, but that's kind of what exams are like. You can recognize and say, I've seen that math formula before. I've seen that formula before, but I don't remember how to use it. Well, if you've seen it and you recognize it, but you don't remember how to use it, it doesn't mean anything, okay? So you need to learn how to revise and how to study properly. I know this has been very long. I'm going to teach you quickly how to do it. Now, this is the study system that I use myself, 99.78, so 100 out of 100 in math. This works for every state, so don't worry if you're saying I'm in HSC, blah, 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 I'm in VCE, I'm in QCE, wherever. I don't care where you are. Even if you're watching this overseas, because I know I have some subscribers and followers that aren't in Australia, doesn't matter. If you're preparing for a year that's going to jump or just for a school year, this is what matters. 3 pillars of my study system. I say this all the time and it's free game, right? No tutors, no teachers will teach you how to study. They'll give you homework. They'll just keep telling you to rewrite notes. They'll give you like more essays to write. They don't teach you how to study. There's a reason I never burnt out and played first team rugby, got my ATAR and was school captain and had a social life. I had a girlfriend at the time. It's because I implemented 2 important things: active recall over passive recall and spaced repetition instead of cramming. Active recall, for example, this empty water bottle says 600 milliliters. Active recall, this is what you do. I guarantee you do this before a test. The week before a test, you're going, or you're reading your notes going, okay, the answer is 600 milliliters. Imagine the question on the test is going to be how many milliliters is on this water bottle. And you're just going 600 mil, 600 mil, 600 mil, 600. Have you ever tried to get information in your head by like spam reading it? You go to the test, you blank. Just like in English, you'll forget your quotes, even though like before the test, you were like reading them in heaps because it's active recall. It's passive recall. I guess I'll tell you active recall is the opposite, where I go 600 mil. So then I look away and you're actively recalling the information and going, instead of spamming, okay, 600, 600, 600, you're going, what is the answer? How many milliliters on that bottle? 600. Now this is a very easy example because it's pretty obviously easy to remember that, but I'm talking about long bits of information and memory retention in general, active recall. You will go into an exam and forget your English quotes, but if you just remember and read them and like test yourself and tried to pretend and write them down off by heart a couple of weeks before, days before, you'll remember. So active recall over passive recall. Second one is spaced repetition. So I know what you do. Instead of cramming exams, we're going to actually space out your repetition for a long period of time. Now, this is a study that was done. I forget the university name. I'll put a screenshot of the study right now. It's a legit study. Like it was massive in the world of cognitive neuroscience, because what it showed is that people that were studying for this information test, they basically studied for it. 15% the people got who did passive recall, who were just reading notes. 30% was the score that people got who did active recall, so testing themselves just once. Just once. They did one study session instead of reading notes every day. They did one study session out of the week or whatever the period was, and they did double as good. What? Now that doesn't end there, right? The people who did active recall and spaced it out, so spaced repetition, maybe one day a week or for 2 weeks, consistently active recall, spacing it out and not cramming in one session. Already, if you cram in one session with active recall, you get double the results. But the people who spaced it out and did active recall got 80% on average on the test. So what, that 5 times better, 80 divided by 15 is like 5 times better off my head. So active recall, spaced repetition. Now, how do we implement this? Again, if you already know me and you've watched my content, please use Anki. The flashcard app, I'm not going to teach you exactly how it works and what it does. I'll show you some stuff on the screen right now just of me using it. It's just going to be me showing you flashcards, way better than writing notes. And you can even import decks. Like inside Elite Achievers, my community, I give everyone my decks and we share decks, and you don't have to write your own notes. You just take them. And we also help you with subjects as well. That's for another day. Basically, if you just understand Anki, if you set it up and watch my YouTube video, there'll be a link in the description of a video I made on an in-depth guide. You'll be fine. Anki is the best app. It's better than Quizlet because you can actually like do spaced repetition. Quizlet doesn't have spaced repetition. And again, Anki is the original. Anki is what all the smart students use in unis and stuff. And I started telling all the high school students to use it because I use it in high school. I didn't write notes. I didn't have 50-page long note docs. I used Anki. And then other than that, I just used past papers. All of the textbooks, like for example, let me grab this. This is the year 12 one. I have the year 11 one back there. I just grabbed the year 12 one. This is the year 12 skills book that I was told to buy from my chemistry teacher and by my school. Now, this is actually my sister's one because my sister did chemistry and I didn't buy it. So I didn't buy it because my sister bought it, but my sister bought it, right? Now, she actually studied like how I'm telling you not to. She did all the nice highlighted notes and stuff. How many times in the year do you reckon I actually use this book? 100 times, 50 times, 1,000 times? 0. I didn't touch this book. Even though the teacher set homework in it, I didn't really do this book because what I did was past papers. A lot of the questions in here were very, very limited and they didn't even show up on exams. I only do past papers. That's the second thing. You need to study with past papers only. Textbook questions, some are good, but start with the past papers. And then if you need really fundamental stuff, if you can't answer any of the questions, but mostly do past papers. Now, why? If I was training for a marathon, would I run or would I swim? I would run. Textbook questions are kind of like swimming, like it will get your cardio better, but it's not exactly like you're going to be the race you're going to be doing, if that makes sense, right? Like how many times has it happened for you in year 10, year 9 that you do a textbook question and then on the test you're like, Miss Sir, like what the hell? I didn't even see this on the test. You're like, what happened? I've never seen that in my life and they're testing me on this. What even is this? Never seen it before. That will happen even more in year 11 because teachers give you all these textbooks. Like, bro, you don't need this, especially if you're in HSC doing chemistry. Don't get any of these books. Don't even get a textbook because it's a waste of money. I know teachers need you to get it. There's free resources to teach yourself the topics and you can use past papers. There's hundreds of free past papers out there from real schools, like the best schools in New South Wales and also for all the other states in Australia as well. This isn't just New South Wales. So that's the second thing of the study system. The third thing is the traffic light system. So that's basically just a system I use to track my progress. I use it all the time. I use it in uni, everything like that. Red for a topic that you really suck at and you're getting nothing right. Orange for something in the middle. Green for something you're getting everything right for. This is amazing. Do this once a week. I'll show you like some screenshots on the screen now, whatever, of my traffic light systems and what my students are doing inside Elite Achievers. Other than that, that's the study system. Now, if you're doing Anki, you're doing past papers and you're using the traffic light system once a week to track your progress, track every single topic, every single question type. Once a week, I say like Sunday night, go through and in your Excel sheet, add a new column and just put red, orange or green. And other than that, you're sweet, right? Like it's so low effort and it's so important for you psychologically to have it low effort because preparing for year 11 doesn't mean hours a day. Like you don't need to study for more than 3 hours a day in year 11. Literally just download Anki, practice how to use it, understand where to get past papers, get your traffic light system set up. It can be done in a few days, not weeks. Go on the link in the description, watch my Anki video, and then that's it. Like preparation is just setup, not grinding. Get to year 11, maybe practice doing some like Anki notes and making some Anki flashcards and do some practice reviews and understand how to use Anki. And then that's it, right? I want to paint a contrast between two types of students. The students who prepare, like I'm telling you, they feel calm in week 1. They know exactly how to revise. They don't panic when work ramps up because they know how to study. They improve faster over time. And there's the other type of students who don't do this. They feel behind immediately. They try to work harder. They just burn out easily because there's such a gap. There's a massive gap between content and a gap between where they are and where they need to be. That gap causes burnout, right? I'm going to let you self-identify. If you want to be one of the first students that I talked about that is ready, do what I said in this video and watch my Anki video. If you don't want to be like that, you want to burn out and not do well, then just stay how you are. Again, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be advanced. You just need to be ready. Like you don't need to get ahead. It's just sold from tutoring companies to get you ahead because we're going to sell you our courses to teach you the subject when you just learn it in class anyway. Readiness just equals systems plus habits, not content mastery. You don't need to understand the content amazingly. Just understand how to study. Your teachers won't teach you how to study. You're going to pay heaps of tutors. They don't teach you how to study. No one talks about it. It's why everyone comes to me and says, Jed, how do I do good? How do I do as well as you did? Whilst in year 11, I was playing first 15 rugby. I think I played my first 15 rugby game at the start of year 11 when I was 15. So I was playing first 15 from year 11. I didn't just do all this stuff in year 12. Year 11, I was playing first 15. Year 11, I was still doing leadership. I was the SRC captain. I got elected as school captain in term 3 of year 11. I was doing all this stuff. I was still in a relationship. I still had a social life. How was I doing that and ducked all my subjects? Not a bad school, a pretty good school. How did I come first and everything and smashed everyone? But I was school captain and I played first 15. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? People think, oh my God, year 11, I've got to get rid of my sport, get rid of my extracurriculars. No, just learn how to study properly. I studied max 2-3 hours a day. And also, I did accelerated math. So I did my math year 11 for advanced and extension math, and I got 100 in advanced and sat my HSC and my HSC trials in year 11, whilst being school captain, like getting elected for it, doing leadership, first 15 in year 11. If I can do it, why can't you? You don't need to get rid of all your extracurriculars. You need to learn how to study, which is what, hopefully, I'll tell you how to do in this video. Now, if you do one thing before year 11, again, learn how to study. Practice this system. Ignore the noise about getting ahead, right? It doesn't matter. Year 11 will become manageable instead of overwhelming once you learn exactly what you're doing. You don't need to get ahead with content. It's stupid, right? I'm going to be posting a lot of videos in 2026 about just helping you destroy school. If you want to ace exams, subscribe to the channel. In today's video, I just taught you basically a framework for what you got to do. If you want to learn exactly like deeper into the study system, how to study for each subject, exactly blah, blah, blah. If you want to ask questions, comment down below. But yeah, subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting near daily over 2026, helping you guys out as much as possible. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much.